Welcome, Frank Rogers. We're so happy to have you at IFSLA, and we're thrilled to be hosting your workshop. Would you tell us more about it?
Well, certainly, and thank you both, Jen and Adrian, for the work that you're doing at IFSLA and for inviting me to be a part of this series. Yeah, where this particular workshop comes from is recognizing that we live in really polarized times right now. We are as polarized in this country as probably we have ever been, and not just political positions, but the kind of vitriol and dehumanization and antagonism that is going on in our country right now. It's really toxic and poisonous, and it activates parts of us. I mean, sometimes because it gets really close. I'm sure a lot of this toxicity bleeds into our own relationships. We may have family members that hold viewpoints and ideologies that we find challenging and difficult, or just in the way we listen to the news or go through the course of our day, we see ideologies being purported or actions being done that really offend us. And of course, it's going to activate our parts that get really afraid, parts that get outraged and indignant, parts that despair, parts that want to silence and dehumanize the other. And it raises the question, so what would it look like to be in the world, to be living in community with persons who are radically different, even polarized from us ideologically, in ways that are self-led, coming out of our best essence, but also that are most effective, that are most helpful in being able to restore right relationship, to be about embodying what is really core to our own principles, but yet also open to the reality of another, given that we have to live in the same world together. So this workshop is going to explore processes by which we might tend to our own parts, gain that self-essence center again, and then look at what it might mean to be in the world, especially in relationships and contexts with people who are challenging and polarized from us in ways that are coming out of our deepest values, the kind of country that we want to live with, that embodies that courage and that compassion.
Wonderful. And so, in terms of effective self leadership and activism, what can folks expect to come away with in the workshop that you're going to be leading?
Yeah, well, we'll come away with a few things. First of all, I'm going to introduce us into a process, a way in which we can, when we do find ourselves activated in the midst of polarizing circumstances, a process by which we can take the U-turn, tend to our own parts, regain that self-essence, and then be able to envision and even engage the other from that self-led place. We'll spend some time actually doing some self-reflection and contemplative exercises, tending to some of our own parts in relationship to that. And then I'm going to offer what I call the compass of self-led activism, which are some coordinates that are concretely guiding us in what it might look like to embody an activism that is both true to our own principles and our values and able to treat the other with dignity and humanity. And I'll offer some very concrete examples and ideas that we might use to embody, and then we'll kind of conclude by imagining what that might look like in one of the contexts in our own lives.
That sounds fantastic. I'm just so happy to have you with us. We really all need this work and appreciate what you're bringing to the world and the impact that it will have.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. Greatly looking forward to it.